It looks like I had to speak to Miss Ammons. That was it. I've spoken to her.
Okay.
Nobody else has called me. So I've already spoken to Miss Ammons, position number 2.
I'm sorry, this is ACDC. You were talking about Miss Ammons?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's you talked to her, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I'll be ready when reached.
Okay, yeah, that's all we had over here.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law, and we're going to begin with our first appearance misdemeanor calendar with the State Court of Fulton County. These are cases involving individuals who were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after being booked in, their cases have now been formally accused by the prosecutor, who's the Solicitor General of Fulton County. When I address each of your cases, I will let you know what is your new case number, the charges that have been brought against you, to appoint counsel when required, and to set a bond. And in certain cases, I may even provide you with a new court date. Was it Miss Strong or Miss Champion? What is it still going to be May 26th?
Your Honor, it's going to be May 28th.
Okay, thank you. So in certain cases, if we have to reset the case for another appearance, it would be May 28th, which will be a Thursday. It will be at 9 a.m. and it will also be a virtual proceeding. So those who plan to attend, please make sure you get the Zoom link from the Fulton County State Court Clerk's Office. Couple of things. If you are charged with one or more misdemeanor offenses, please remember you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you choose to say or talk about your case during this virtual proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. So please remember this virtual proceeding is not only being recorded, but also live streamed. So if you have any questions or comments about your case, wait till your attorney is available to speak with you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. All right. I guess ACDC is on. Who do we have first?
Good afternoon. We have, I'm sorry, we have position number 1, Miss Allen.
Okay. This is Taylor Marie Allen, case number 26CR3087A, who's been accused of simple battery family violence from May 13th of 2026. Ms. Allen, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Ms. Rosenhuber. All right, good afternoon. And any priors, Ms. Hardy?
Oh, Your Honor, this is consent bond, Your Honor.
Is this a consent bond?
Yes, Your Honor. We did just speak prior to the court coming on. I apologize for the delayed announcement on that, but we do have a consent.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Mr. Scirocco, what are the terms of this bond order?
Yes, Judge. $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1 on the simple battery family violence offense. Defendant shall enroll in pretrial diversion and pay any required enrollment fees. Shall enroll in and complete the 12-week anger management course through AACS and pay any required course fees. Shall have no further violent contact with Mr. Nicholas Burks. Shall complete 30 hours community service. Have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and have no further violations of the law. And that should be it. If we could just be sure to sound for Mr. Burks.
Nicholas Burks, if you're on Zoom and if you want to chime in, this is the time to unmute and start your video. Ms. Rosenhuber, are these the terms to which your client has agreed?
Yes, Your Honor, they are.
All right, I'll accept the terms of this consent bond order. Ms. Allen, make sure you get a copy of this bond order from your attorney. It's quite a laundry list of items that you need to complete. And make sure we have a current address with the clerk's office at all times. You will be required to report to pretrial services once a month. no violent contact with Nicholas Burks, which means that if there's any future violent altercations, either physical or verbal, and the police get involved, you'll be back in jail. This particular deal offer will be off the table, and we'll start from scratch with your case. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get number 8, Mr. Daniel.
Tyreek Daniel has 6 misdemeanor offenses stemming from a traffic incident from April 15th, 2026. His case number is 26 CR 3105L. Mr. Daniel, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Mr. Murphy. Is that your client?
No, Judge.
All right. Ms. Rosenhuber, is that your client?
Judge, I don't believe so. Mr. Daniels?
Ms. Kim, is that your client? Well,
No,
well,
you are.
all right. Is there a public defense or private defense attorney on Zoom who has spoken to Mr. Daniel?
Mr. Daniel was a conflict case, Your Honor.
Conflict case, all right. Mr. Murphy, are you available to speak with him, or would you be, well, pardon the pun, but conflicted out of that case?
Is this Tyreek Daniel?
Yes, sir.
It looks like McLeod's representing him.
Oh, okay. Maureen McLeod?
Ms. McLeod is on leave of absence until June 8th, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I could speak to him if the court wants that, or however.
Has Ms. McLeod been appointed already, or is this something that we just?
Oh, it does look like she does represent him, so.
Okay, let's keep it with Ms. McLeod.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Daniel, your attorney is Maureen McLeod. This is a first appearance matter, so your attorney will take up the case after we're done with first appearance. Any pretrial report on Mr. Daniel?
Yes, Your Honor. That last arrest was December the 20th, 2025, excuse me, out of Fulton County for aggravated assault and possession of a prohibited item by inmate. They have 15, excuse me, 15 cycles. There was a felony conviction in 2025 for aggravated assault, 2023 theft by receiving, entering auto, possession of a firearm. There appears to be an open case for aggravated assault under 25 SC 007861. There's appears to be 7 probation cases. Nothing further to report.
Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the April 15th fleeing and eluding case. The defendant, who had several warrants, as you might have imagined, out for his arrest here, was seen exiting the 1085 White Oak Avenue location in a vehicle. His license to drive was suspended at the time. The officer had pursued him, tried to initiate a traffic stop, and he began traveling at a high rate of speed as soon as he saw the officer, passing through approximately what the officer approximated as being, I believe it was
I've read the
4
warrant,
different.
sir. I
Okay.
don't need the blow-by-blow account,
All right.
but I'm just curious. He's already got another open case, theft by taking and criminal trespass in state court. Looks like he had a $5,000 good bond, made bond. But how are we dealing with this new one?
Well, the state's recommendation on this, given the open cases, recent convictions, which I should mention, there was a recent fleeing and eluding conviction that was 2023, 21 SC 179069. And there was a fleeing and eluding charge and reckless stunt driving charge that was actually dismissed as part of that ag assault case from 2025, of which he was convicted. With the risk to community, the public safety here, and his history of FTAs and his criminal history as well. There's 2 FTAs from 2026. We're recommending an $8,000 surety, Judge, $4,500 on the fleeing and eluding, $1,500 on the reckless driving, and $500 on the remaining charges. Failure to obey stop sign, 2 of those, obstruction and driving while license suspended or revoked.
Mr. Daniel, your attorney is Ms. McLeod. You do understand that you have another open case with state court. I'm going to accept the state's recommendation based on your criminal record history, the number of probation cases you have, as well as the your open felony case. On the driving, fleeing, or attempting to elude is going to be 2,000 surety bond. On the reckless driving is 1,000. All the remaining charges are 1,000. I'm sorry, on the reckless driving is a $2,000 surety bond, and then the remaining charges all are a $1,000 surety bond. This is a total of 8,000, 2, 4, 6, 7, yeah, $8,000 surety bond. You're not allowed to operate a motor vehicle unless you have a current valid Class C driver's license, adequate insurance, and proper registration for the vehicle that you operate. Your next court date is going to be May 28th. Thank you. Next case.
We go to number 24, Mr. Potts.
Oh, Ms. Champion, in addition to Mr. Daniel's new case, we're going to also reset his other open case, 26 CR 002467L. Thank you. Mr. Potts, okay.
Or we could go with Mr. Murphy's case since we don't want to keep him waiting.
Well, you're very kind. Mr. Murphy owes you a Kit Kat, so. All right, and what's Mr. Murphy's client's name? A client's
Ms.
name.
Amons. Ms.
Repeat?
Ms. Amons, position number 2.
Okay, thank you. All right. Shamika Ammons is accused of simple assault from May 14th of 2026, case 26 CR 3124B. Ms. Ammons, you've been advised of your rights. Any priors, or is there a consent in this case? Ms. Tucker?
There's no consent, and I do have that she has a prior aggravated assault conviction from 2009.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Hardy?
That was it. Nothing to add.
All right, thank you. And what's the state's recommendation for Ms. Ammons?
Yes, Judge, we're recommending a $1,500 good bond with no further contact with Taisha Brown. This incident occurred in their apartment. She started arguing out the window or out the back door with the daughter of this victim. So when the mother, Taisha Brown, came to the apartment, the defendant answered the door with a knife. It was a dual arrest because after she answered with the knife, which scared Miss Brown went and got a firearm. So she is charged with aggravated assault. But Miss Ammons did have the knife first. So we are asking for a $1,500 good bond in this case, and no further contact with Taisha Brown.
Okay,
Or
thank
her 14-year-old daughter.
Understood. Who represents Mr. Murphy? Is that your client?
It is, Judge.
All right.
Fine.
Just 1 second, please.
Yeah.
Bond is going to be set at 5,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. She's to have no further contact with Taisha Brown and any of her immediate family members, including her children, spouse, partner, what you have. Her next court date will be sent to her current address. When she is in her apartment, and if any of the Brown family is around, Miss Ammons is required to remain inside her apartment. She's not to communicate with any of them in any way, form, or manner, either verbally, through a third party, through mail, email, phones, computers, and even on social media. If she violates this no contact order, she'll be back in jail with a $5,000 cash bond. While she's out in public, she's to maintain a 200-yard buffer with Taisha Brown and her immediate family members. She's not allowed to own any firearms and not to use any kitchen utility items as a weapon. The next court date will be sent to her current address. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. They live on different levels of the apartment complex.
That's why I said if they're around, she needs to stay inside the apartment.
Julie, no, thank you. We appreciate the grace and support. Thank you, Judge. Ms. Ammons, I'll reach out to your mom. Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
And Mr. Murphy, make sure your client gets a copy of the bond order. This goes for all defense attorneys. Make sure your clients get a copy of the bond order. Thank you.
Will do, Judge. Thank you.
And Mr. Potts in courtroom 2, that would be
24.
24. Thank you. Lestravius Potts is accused of driving while license suspended and equipment failure to use headlights on May 8, 2026. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was January 2nd, 2026, by Georgia State Patrol for driving while license suspended or revoked. There's 28 cycles, misdemeanor conviction in 2016, theft by receiving obstruction and driving without a license. There was felony sale of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance in 2025. Also possession of a firearm. Appears to be 2 probation cases, nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco, what's the state's recommendation on bond only?
Yes, Your Honor. And I did see additional arrests for driving, excuse me, while license suspended or revoked, and driving without a valid license for, in addition to that NOLO from 2026 for the same. We are recommending that the split bond that's currently in place, as set by the magistrate, remains set. It's $1,000 surety on the driving while license suspended or revoked, and a $500 signature bond on the equipment violation. We would ask for that to remain set. No driving without a valid license, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I did see as well multiple FTAs, 5, but 3 in 2022.
Now he's got 2 probation holds as well. Who's his counsel?
Your Honor, this is also conflict cases. We have 6 conflict cases, and we were told that Attorney Murphy would be representing them.
Didn't know that. He left.
Oops.
All right, I'll appoint Mr. Murphy unless he's Mr. Potts, would you care to let us know who's your other attorney?
I haven't talked, I ain't spoke with no one.
Who's your other attorney in your other cases?
I haven't spoken to anyone.
You've got 2 probation holds on the driving while license suspended is $1,000 surety, and it's going to be a UJR on the equipment violation. Your next court date is going to be May 28th. I'll appoint Dennis Murphy to represent him. And please remember this name, Dennis Murphy. Don't forget that name. And your next court date is May 28th. No driving unless you have a valid Class C driver's license, adequate insurance and proper registration for the vehicle that you operate. You're not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and not allowed to own or possess any firearms. What was the other? You've got 2 probation holds, so you'll be with us. Hopefully we'll see you on the 28th. Otherwise, please remember, no driving. Thank you. Next case.
Position number 5, Ms. Buckley.
Jamaica Buckley is accused of 2 counts of battery family violence and 1 count of simple battery family violence, case 26 CR 3088C. She's represented by Ms. Rosenhuber. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
There are 6 arrest cycles in Georgia. Last arrest was November 14th, 2025 out of Clayton County for fleeing and attempting to elude. There was a 2024 misdemeanor conviction out of Clayton for battery family violence. It appears that they got first offender treatment on that, and it was discharged in 2025. Nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco, what's the recommendation from Ms. Buckley?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the mother on son incident with Jaden Buckley. We spoke with him, and he explained that while he was at work getting messages from his mom, the defendant, stating he didn't help her and wasn't doing anything around the home, he didn't understand where he was coming from. He reached out to his younger sister, and she told him that mom had been drinking. And when he got home from work, he sat at the table, began mumbling the lyrics to a song, and the defendant thought that he was mocking her. So that's when she struck him. He tried to defend himself here and was able to call the police. She has become inebriated to this extent before, but hasn't physically attacked anyone from that. He is currently at his aunt's house, and he will not be living with his mom anymore. He's okay with her returning to the home as he is not there. He doesn't want contact with his mother, but he's okay with no violent contact because he wants to be able to provide food to his younger sister who does reside there. Yeah, the state's recommendation on this with her that prior family violence, the battery family violence out of Clayton, that was First Offender Act discharged. That gives us additional cause for concern for this victim and for reoffense and for others living in the household. The state's recommendation is a $5,000 surety, $2,000 on each battery family violence charge, and $1,000 on the simple battery family violence judge. We would recommend FIB and random screens for drugs and alcohol. As well, we would recommend no further violent contact with Jaden Buckley. And stay away from his new residence. However, I don't have that location, but stay away from the aunt's house. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and no violent contact with anyone residing at 1999 Bent Creek Way in Atlanta.
Jaden Buckley, if you're on Zoom, if you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. I really don't see anyone by that name here. All right, Ms. Rosenhuber?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Buckley is 38 years old. She is a lifelong Georgia resident. She has a total of 4 children, 3 of which do currently live with her, excluding the alleged victim in this case. Additionally, Judge, her mother and 2 sisters live in Georgia. The address on file is her home. It's still a good address for her, based on the state's representation, especially that the alleged victim no longer plans to reside there. She's a high school graduate, and while she is not currently working, she's taking care of her kids. She previously worked at the airport and the Hilton, and Your Honor, she does have her medical assistant certificate. She's advised me that she is not going to be able to post a surety bond, and that the only way she would be able to get out would be through a pretrial signature bond. And so we would request a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services. I would also note, Judge, that while I don't have any objection to the drug and alcohol screens or even anger management, I think for a mother-son case, FVIP in particular might be a little bit more than she needs in terms of bond being just assurance that she returns to court. And it would be a financial burden on her. So that would be my request, Judge.
All right, thank you. On count 1, the battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,000 surety bond. On count 2, that's going to be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. And count 3 is going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3. This is going to be a $6,000 split bond. Her next court date is May 28th. No further violent contact with Jaden Buckley. She can return to a home, I think at Bent Creek Way, if I'm not mistaken. Within 10 days of being released on bond, she will undergo an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit to any treatment that's required. Once she posts the surety portion of a bond, she will report to pretrial services twice a month. She's not to consume any illegal drugs. She's not to consume any alcohol. And she will be subject to a mandatory screening for illegal drugs and alcohol for once a month. She will be subject to a 12-month monitoring with pretrial services at twice a month. And she'll need to complete 12 anger awareness classes at a minimum rate of once a month. If she violates any of these conditions, if she consumes any of the substances restricted in this bond, that is, she fails to screen, or if she gets arrested again, then the signature portion will also be revoked and amended to a surety. Thank you.
All right, next we got number 3, Mr. Baker.
Number 3, okay. This is State versus Leon Baker. Mr. Baker has 6 misdemeanors charges stemming from a May 13th, 2026, excuse me, incident. Case number 26CR3101C. The charges are as follows: 1 count of battery family violence, 1 count of simple battery family violence, and 4 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree. You've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Rosenhuber. Any priors?
Last arrest was July the 11th, 2018, out of College Park for driving while license suspended or revoked. There's 10 total arrest cycles in Georgia. There was a misdemeanor conviction in 2015 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, an FTA from 2017. Nothing further.
Any recommendations, Mr. Scaraco?
Yes, Judge, we are recommending a $5,000 surety total. You recall this was the case where he was striking her in the presence of four minor children, and she felt in such fear of her life that she actually jumped from an upstairs window, roughly 25 feet to the ground. So the state's incredibly concerned for her well-being and the threat that he poses to her. I did see additionally, it also has a hold for failure to appear out of Union City Police Department. That being said, the $5,000 surety breakdown, as recommended, would go 2,000 on the battery family violence, 1,000 on the simple battery family violence, and 500 on each cruelty to children in the third. We'd recommend FIP here. We'd recommend no further contact with Adriana Murphy. Stay away from 7357 Walton Hill and South Fulton. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And we have not had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Murphy yet. We'll continue those efforts, but if we could sound for her here, Judge.
Adriana Murphy, if you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. Ms. Rosenhuber?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Baker is 34 years old. He is a lifelong Georgia resident and has four children. The ages range from 5 to 14. Additionally, Judge, other family members that reside in Georgia include his sister, his aunts, uncles, and his mother. Your Honor, he has advised me that his current address that is listed is the incident location, and he understands that he will be relocating, and he intends to update the clerk's office with his updated address when he knows exactly where he's going to go. Judge, he earned his associate's degree last year in heat and air. He's currently a maintenance supervisor at SoCo at Vinings apartment complex. And Your Honor, given the fact that he does also have that hold and won't be getting out right away, we'd request a surety bond not to exceed $2,500. And I have no objection to any of the terms that Attorney Sirocco listed.
Okay. On the battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. On the simple battery, that's going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. On the remaining counts, it's going to be $1,000 each. And that's a total of $8,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. And he will start reporting to pretrial twice a month as soon as he's released from his Union City hold. He's to have no further contact with Adrian Murphy, no further contact with the children that he shares with Miss Murphy. If he wishes to have any contact with the children, he must file a legitimation case and get a court order for a parenting plan, custody, and child support, and so forth. Within 30 days of reporting to pretrial services, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program and complete all 24 weeks of classes at his expense. If he fails to complete the classes, his bond shall be revoked. He's to stay away from the Walton Hill apartment complex or home. I think it was, I can't remember, it was 747 or something like that.
It is 7357 Walton Hill in South Fulton, Judge.
Okay, he's to stay away from that location. He's allowed a one-time visit to the location with a police officer in order to retrieve his belongings. That visit cannot exceed 1 hour. And of course, within 30 days of being released from Union City, he will update the court with his new address in writing. No illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, no weapons and firearms. His next court date will be sent to his new address. Thank you.
Next, we have position number 6, Ms. Clifton.
And Your Honor, for Ms. Clifton's case, ASG Tucker did send over a consent bond. I just haven't had an opportunity to convey it to Ms. Clifton, but based on my prior interview with her, I think it's something she'll accept if we can just go ahead and put that on the record.
Okay, I just want to get back to Leon Baker's case. Just want to advise pretrial that this will be a 12-month monitoring in order for him to complete his DBIP. All right, Ms. Clifton is position 6, accused of battery family violence from May 13th, 2026, case 20 CR 3118A. This is Marie Asia Monique Clifton. Miss Tucker, yes. What are the terms of the proposed consent bond?
Yes, Judge. It's a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with conditions to have no further violent contact with her mother, Michelle Robinson. That's it.
And no alcoholic beverages, no illegal drugs, and no weapons. Miss Clifton, courtroom 2, if you could please unmute. The prosecutor is agreeing that you can be released on a signature bond, but you'll be required to report to pretrial services once a month.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are to have no violent contact with your mom. That means no physical and no verbal altercations that might get the police involved. Would you like to accept these terms, or shall we proceed with a hearing on your bond?
I will accept it.
Okay, then those will be the terms. Her next court date will be sent to a new address. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the bond amount?
1,500 signature bond, pretrial level 1. No violent contact with Michelle Robinson. Next case.
Number 11, Mr. Frazier.
Alonzo Frazier has taught 2 matters before the court. Let's begin with position 11, and that's going to be a PI charge, so we're going to waive sounding. 26 CR 3116G, accused of PI from May 4th, 2026. The second case is 26 CR 3117G. It's the second PI count from May 8th, 2026. Mr. Frazier, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Rosenhuber. Ms. Hardy, any other, and how many cycles does he have?
No cycles. I'm showing this is the first arrest.
Well, starts with 2 cases. All right, Ms. Tucker, what's the bond recommendation?
Yes, Judge. On position 11, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Nadia Husisic and to stay away from 3080 Marketplace in Alpharetta and to have a social worker visit to assist with any potential issues. And in position 12, we're asking for the same thing, a $1,500 good bond, but this case to have no further contact with Mary Shepard and to stay away from the Shell gas station at 6185 Windward Parkway in Alpharetta with again that social worker visit.
Is there anyone here on behalf of Alonzo Frazier besides his counsel?
Yes, I'm his mother. I'm here.
All right, please unmute and start your video. All right, I'm sorry, there are 2 people who showed up. All right, and what's your name, ma'am?
Mona Lisa Frazier.
Monique Frazier?
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Frazier, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
All right, without making reference to his charges, what would you like me to know?
I'd like you to know that Lonzo Frazier, he's a caring person. He tries to help others, always wanted to be a help. He's a good kid. He's just in a relationship that I've been trying to mentor him, and I'm here to help him get his self on track
All right.
to how we raised him, kind of.
Do you know these individuals, Nadia Hussein or Mary Shepard?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, thank you.
I-
Please mute your screen. Ms. Rosenhuber?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Frazier is 25 years old. He advised me that he's lived here in Georgia for the past 6 months or so, and that he has some cousins that live in Georgia. He graduated high school and has a stable job working at the Cheesecake Factory, a job he's held for about 4 months now, and that he's also working towards his CDL. Your Honor, hearing that it's his first arrest and hearing from Mr. Frazier's mother that she is here to support him, we would ask for a pretrial signature bond on this case. Thank you.
On the first case, position 11, the bond is going to be set at $2,000. That's a surety bond. He's to have no further contact with Nadia Hussein, and he's to stay 200 yards away from 3080 Marketplace Boulevard in Alpharetta, Georgia. He'll probably also need a social worker visit to explore any MH or BH issues with regards to that. With regards to position number 12, that's going to be a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3, and this will be for a 12-month monitoring. He will report to pretrial services once a week. He's to have no further contact with, I'm sorry, who Mary's last name is?
Shepherd.
Shepherd? And he's to stay 200 yards away from the Shell gas station at 6185 Wynwood Parkway in Alpharetta, Georgia. Once he posts his bond on his first case, he'll be required to report to pretrial services once a week for the next 12 months, at which times he needs to show that he's compliant with his bond conditions, he's not arrested again, that he stays away from the incident locations, and that he has and if in the event there is any MH or BH issues, if he's post bond, then he'll need to undergo either an MH or BH evaluation within 30 days of being released if he doesn't get one at the jail. And if he obtains a BH or MH evaluation through a healthcare provider, he must submit himself to all treatment that's required. Mr. Frazier, if you get arrested again, if you don't report to pretrial as required, or if you violate any of the other conditions of your bond, your next bond will be $10,000, and it will either be a cash bond or a surety bond. This alleged behavior is very concerning, so please make sure that you're mindful of your bond conditions. Again, defense counsel, make sure your clients get a copy of the bond orders so that they know what they're required to do. Thank you. Oh, and both cases are going to be further noticed to May 28th.
Next, we have position number 14, Ms. Grubbs.
Grubbs, okay. Ariane Grubbs is accused of simple assault, family violence from May 13th of this year, 26 CR 3102D. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was March the 24th, 2015 out of Clayton County for a probation violation. They have 3 cycles. Misdemeanor conviction in 2015 for a fray out of Clayton where they got first offender and it was sealed in 2015. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. We're going to be asking for a $2,000 good bond in this case with conditions no further contact with Javante Glanton, who you'll see is position 13 on this calendar. This is a dual arrest case. The facts allege that Grubbs flagged down officers while they're in the car. She said there was an argument about a cell phone, so Glanton told her to get out of the car. She moved from the driver's seat to the passenger seat and grabbed a bag which had her boyfriend's gun in it. So she told him the gun was in the bag, and she pointed the bag with the gun at him. So then he responded by grabbing another gun out from under the passenger seat of the car, and he inserted a loaded magazine into the gun. All of this was done in front of the juvenile child that they share, who is in the back seat.
Is that Mr. Glanton in courtroom 2? Is there a Javante Glanton in courtroom 2?
Yeah, it's probably.
All right. Go ahead and address both cases.
Okay.
And Mr. Glanton, I gather, is going to be represented by conflict, and so I'll appoint Dennis Murphy to represent him.
I got a private lawyer.
You have a lawyer?
He hasn't been informed yet because I wasn't given a call.
What's your lawyer's name?
Johnny Waller.
Johnny who?
Waller.
Spell the last name?
Waller.
All right. Have you called him?
I haven't got no phone calls from East Point or from Fulton County.
Okay, thank you. All right, so with Javonte Glanton, he's also accused of simple assault family violence, 26 CR 3115D. Mr. Glanton, you've also been advised of your rights. Any priors on Mr. Glanton, Ms. Hardy?
His last arrest was January 31st, 2017 out of Jonesboro for disorderly conduct, obstruction, and fleeing. There are 2 arrest cycles, one out of Georgia, one out of the Navy, nothing further.
All right. Ms. Rosenhuber, does your client share the same residence with Mr. Glanton?
No, she does not, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Tucker, what's your bond recommendation for Mr. Glanton?
Yes, Judge, we're also asking for a $2,000 good bond in his case with no further contact with Ariana Grubbs.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Rosenhuber?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Grubbs is 29 years old. She's resided here in Georgia for the past 14 plus years. She has one daughter, an 8-year-old, that does live with her. She also resides with her mother, her brother, and her aunt and immediate family. They live in Georgia as well, but she lives with her mom and her daughter. I apologize. She graduated high school and completed some college, about 2 years at Strayer University. While she's currently unemployed, she formerly worked at the U.S. Department of Labor, and she's in the process of applying for work now. Your Honor, given the fact that she hasn't been in trouble or been arrested since 2015, we would request a signature bond through pretrial services. It's my understanding that the 2 parties do have a joint custody agreement where they already don't see each other, or if, they need to somehow communicate, they communicate through her mother. So she has no problem with a no contact and a stay away provision.
A joint custody where they don't communicate with each other until May 13. Okay. See what communication gets you. And so Mr. Glanton is obviously represented by private counsel. Please unmute courtroom 2. Mr. Glanton, I will be glad to give you the opportunity to call your attorney and we can address your case tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm ready to proceed on a bond ruling. What would you like to do?
Can I represent myself for the moment?
You want to represent yourself?
For the moment.
You have a right to represent yourself, and if you choose to do so, you must expressly waive your right to counsel. And in doing so, you are responsible for any legal arguments and legal decisions you make, because anything you say right now, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. Would you like to wait for your attorney? Would you like me to make a bond ruling right now? Or would you like to waive your right to counsel and proceed? Which one? Door number 1, 2, or 3?
You said if I represent myself, I can't have a lawyer later?
Oh, yeah, you can. But if you choose to represent yourself, you are waiving your right to counsel at this present stage. So what would you like to do?
Yes, ma'am. Right now, I want to represent myself.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I want to present facts to the I want to just say what really happened. I don't want to say
If
it.
you choose to discuss the facts or circumstances, see, this is why I always ask people, I always make sure that I advise them of their rights before I begin, but obviously nobody pays attention. You have a constitutional right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts or circumstances of the case today is going to be heard by all the prosecutors who are watching this today. And
Yes,
your
ma'am.
statements can and will be used against you. You said you have an attorney. I'll bet you 25 cents he will scream at you if you talk about the facts and circumstances of the case. But hey, it's your funeral. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. There's
Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, ma'am. There's cameras at the intersection of where the actual event happened, where she said that she got into the passenger, or she didn't get. She did, but first she got the bag with the gun. But there's a camera right there. We got off of the exit right there by the MARTA station. There's I don't know how many cameras, but all the cameras are right there. And then there's another camera where we came down the road, and where I parked my car, and there should be a camera facing us when she was pointing the gun with the bag at me. Also, so that's all I wanted to say. That there is. cameras that show everything. I when she was driving my car, my gun was in my car under my passenger seat where I was sitting at. When she switched over to the when she got out of the driver's seat, she jumped into the back. It's on camera. She jumped into the back, grabbed that bag. I didn't know it had a gun in it. She got in the passenger seat. I gave her her phones back. Um, I grabbed my gun from under the passenger seat where I was sitting. I grabbed it, it should be on camera, and I looked at the back of it to make sure that the clip was in it. She didn't take it out. I put it under my seat where I was at and left it alone, and then continued to drive my daughter to school. I tried before I drove off. I tried to let Miss Grubbs get out the car. She didn't want to get out the car, and then she tried to snatch my daughter out the car. So I said, no, let's just take her to school. On the way, as soon as we turned that turn right there, that's where she put her hand in the bag and she pointed the gun at me. My daughter said that she seen a police officer to the right of us, a MARTA police officer. We pulled over. My daughter and her were flagging him down, but I was flagging him down really because she had a gun pointed at my rib cage. So I jumped out first of the vehicle, and then I ran over to the cop and was telling him, "Can he get her out the car?" I was not trying to get her in no trouble or anything. I didn't mention the gun or anything. I asked him, "Can you get her out of my car? She needs her phones and all this stuff because I'm trying to take my daughter to school." I was, I don't know, and I don't want to say anything, but I do know that I was not treated right, like at the scene, because they immediately arrested. I was at gunpoint. I was running for my life. So immediately, because she got out the car and started crying and grabbed my daughter, they detained me. So everything went like I went from being at gunpoint to actually being like somebody that was a criminal for no reason. So I was treated like unfairly. They were her and the investigation was not done properly. MARTA police sat there and had her and my daughter corroborating the stories together and not separating everybody. They had APD pulled up first with their 2 minutes of the whole altercation, like the whole little ordeal. And then we waited an hour for East Point police to come and never even talked to me at all before they tried to arrest me. And then she played victim at the scene crying and stuff, but she just held me at gunpoint. And then when jumped out the car, actually first when I jumped out the car, she said that she was just playing. She didn't have a gun in the car. So that's why I never said nothing to the police. I'm just telling them that I want her out of my car so I can drop my daughter off. I was treated like a criminal, so really like, they didn't get to really investigate and see everything the right way and the way it should have been presented. But I didn't put nobody's life in danger. My life was in danger at the beginning, but it doesn't look right the way that things go, and I guess the way that things are treated around here. So when I ran for my life and actually seek help from that officer, I was treated like a criminal, and my life was in danger, and it's on camera. So I wanted that to be known on the record. Like my life was in danger. I was running, and I got treated like a criminal, and then detained. So I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Okay. Anything else, Ms. Tucker, Ms. Rosenhoover on this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. On Arion Grubbs, the bond is going to be set at 5,000. It's going to be a surety bond with a 10% option if she wants to exercise it. If she exercises a 10% option, this would be a signature bond through pretrial services level 2, excuse me, level 2. No further contact with Javante Glanton. No further no violent contact in front of the child or children that she has. No further contact means that she is to not be within 200 yards of Mr. Glanton. She's not to communicate with him in any way, form, or manner, and definitely she cannot be in the same car with him. If there is a current custody or parenting plan, that is suspended pending this case that is going on, because clearly they're not complying with it. So a 5,000 surety bond with a 10% option means that Ms. Grubbs can pay $500 to the sheriff's office. And if this case works out in her favor, she will get most of those funds back. No further violent contact means there cannot be any display of violence in front of the child or children that in front of her children. Basically, that's what it means. It doesn't mean that you can't have contact with your child. You definitely can have contact. And maintain a current address with the court. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, and definitely no weapons and no firearms, which means you cannot have a firearm on your person, in your home, or in any vehicle you occupy. So before you enter anybody's car, make sure you check with the owner of the vehicle that there are no firearms, because you could jeopardize your bond. Next court date will be May 28th. Mr. Glanton has the same bonds with the requirements that he has no further contact with Ariane Grubbs. He's to stay 200 yards away from her, not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. And like I said, currently the whatever custody or parenting plan they have is suspended pending further order of the court. He's not allowed to own, possess, or have any firearms. He's not allowed to own them, have them in his vehicle, have them in his car, anywhere. And any firearms that he owns must be surrendered to the authorities immediately upon his release from jail. If he decides to exercise the 10% option, he'll be required to report to pretrial services on a level 2 basis. And if he violates any of the conditions of the bond, this can jeopardize his bond. Monitoring for pretrial will be for a 12-month duration. Thank you.
All right, next we got number 20, Mr. Lockhart.
And I'm sorry, both cases are further noticed to May 28th. And I'm sorry, Ms. Kim, what was that position number again?
20.
20. Okay, thank you. Deputy. Christopher Lockhart is accused of possession of dangerous drugs, drugs, and a window tint violation from May 14th of 2026, case 26 CR 3119B. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September 29th, 2024, out of Randolph County, Alabama, for intimidation/harassment. There's 10 total cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Alabama. Felony conviction in 2025 for aggravated assault. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor, this was the case with the promethazine that was found in the vehicle that he was driving, which did have the improper window tint that officers observed and measured. Based on his history and based on, I mean, the tangential risk to public safety associated here, this isn't a DUI, but it's looking like it could be something pretty close. So we would be concerned, and we are recommending a $2,000 surety, that being split bond, $2,000 surety on the possession of dangerous drugs, and a signature bond through the jail on the window tint violation. No, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and we would recommend random screens.
Right. Thank you. On the possession of dangerous drugs, that's going to be a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. He will report to pretrial services twice a month. He will be subject to random screens with a minimum mandatory screen at least once a month for alcohol and illegal drugs. If he consumes any kind of prescription drugs, he must have a valid prescription if he tests positive on a screen. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons and firearms. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position number 25, Ms. Riles.
I'm sorry, was the whole thing 2,500?
Oh, it's a UJR on the window tint violation. I forgot to
Thank you.
mention that. Thank you. 25. Is this Chiquita Riles?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Riles is accused of battery, family violence under accusation 26 CR 3120E from April 19th of this year. Any priors? Ms. Hardy?
Yes, their last arrest was October 25th, 2014, out of Morrow for theft by shoplifting. There's 5 cycles in Georgia. There was a misdemeanor conviction in 2002 for violation of a DV order. Nothing further.
Okay, that was a misdemeanor violation of okay. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the mother-daughter incident. The victim's name is Rosemary Riles. It was clear that she wanted the daughter out of the home here, and that's when the daughter had struck her in the face with a closed fist and back, leaving bruising. The state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial services. We are recommending either FIB or at the very least anger awareness classes for her. We'd recommend as well no further contact with Rosemary Riles, three words. Stay away from 3571 Highwood Drive in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And we have not spoken with Miss Riles yet. If we could sound for her at this time, Judge.
First name Rose, middle name Mary, last name Riles. If you are on Zoom, please unmute if you want to say something and start your video. All right, Miss Rosenhuber, any objection with the to the stay away, no contact?
No objection to that, Judge. We're just
All right.
the signature bond through pretrial.
Okay, it's a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services. I'm going to put it a level 2, and this will be for a 6-month duration. She'll be required to complete 6 anger awareness classes. No further contact while this case is open and pending with Rose Mary Riles. Stay away from 3571 Highland Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe there's no unit number, so I'm assuming that's either a house or just doesn't come with a unit number. She's allowed a one-time visit to that location with a police officer, and that visit cannot exceed 1 hour, during which time she can retrieve her belongings. Within 30 days of being released, she must update the court with her new mailing address. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you.
Next, we got 26, Mr. Roundtree.
Your Honor, this is consent bond case, Your Honor.
Okay. Terry Roundtree is accused of criminal trespass, case 26 CR 3094A. Mr. Scrocco, what are the terms?
Yes, Your Honor. For the criminal trespass, a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. Defendant shall meet with a social worker for housing purposes. Defendant shall stay away from North Highland Steel. The location is 240 North Highland Avenue in Atlanta. Defendant shall have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond and must surrender any and all firearms to the sheriff's office. And defendant shall have no further violations of the law.
Ms. Kim, are these the terms to which your client has agreed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Roundtree, I'll accept these terms. Please make sure that you are seen by a social worker to address your housing requirements, if any. And do not return to North Highland Steel, otherwise you'll be back in jail, and this bond will convert to a cash bond or a surety bond. Thank you.
Yeah, that's 3,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
3,000 signature bond pre-trial level 1.
Position number 27, Ms. Rowe.
Degnessa Rowe is accused of criminal trespass from May 14th of this year, case 26 CR 3121A. Miss, do we have the consent bond in this case?
No, Judge.
All right. Miss Hardy, any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was April 22nd, 2026, out of Gwinnett for false report of a crime. There's 21 arrest cycles. There was 2 FTAs in 2025.
And that's good. Thank you so much. And Mr. Scrocco, what's the bond recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $2,000 surety on account of her 2 FTAs in 2025 and battery, terroristic threats and acts, and another criminal trespass and disorderly conduct conviction. These are from 2025 through 2020, those convictions. We're recommending a social worker visit for housing and BH. Stay away from the Welcome House just down the street, 234 Memorial Drive in Atlanta. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Rosenhuber, she doesn't qualify for a signature bond. Do you have anything to add?
We would just ask for the lowest bond possible, Judge. If I may, Miss Rose, 48. She's lived here in Georgia her whole life, has 4 adult children who live in Georgia, and her mother is also here. She did advise me that the address on file is still a good address for her. It's where her son lives. She made it to the 10th grade and did talk to me a bit about her MH issues. She currently has treatment set up with Mr. Tillman at Mercy Care. She takes medication. It's been about a month since she has actually been back to Mercy Care, but she advised she wants to make an appointment. So we would just ask for the lowest bond possible. She's advised she's not able to make any surety, Judge.
Bond is set at $25 cash bond only, and she's to stay away from the Welcome House at 234 Memorial Drive. Her next court date is May 28th. I'm sorry, who's on iPhone 5? Who's on iPhone 5? Please start your video. Did you want to chime in? All right. Next case?
34, Mr. Wright.
34. No, that doesn't sound right.
Mr. Wright, yeah, 34 Canavis Wright.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we've been waiting on this one.
After Wednesday's calendars, I'm just surprised it's 34. Okay. Okay. Position 34, I have Canavis Wright accused of theft by shoplifting from 26 CR 3004Y from October 14th of 2025. Mr. Wright, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors?
Last arrest was April 15th, 2026, out of Fulton for possession of cocaine with intent. That case is open under 26 PI 003761. There's 47 arrest cycles. Appears to be an open probation case for theft by taking.
Oh,
29.
that's good. That's
Okay.
good. Thank you. And Mr. Scirocco, what's your bond recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, for the theft by shoplifting, and I will note this would be his fourth theft by shoplifting, were he convicted. It would be a felony offense. We have elected to proceed with this case in particular in our office. That being said, there is from 2008, 2012, and 2017 are the theft by shoplifting convictions I see. Recent history, and I did see wanted. I don't remember where out of where, but for cocaine possession with intent to distribute as of April 15th, 2026. I would have to check and see if that's an active holding and jailing, but the state's recommendation is going to be a $2,500 surety on the risk of reoffense and community property here. Stay away from Walmart at 6149 Old National Highway in South Fulton, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright is 36 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He is currently residing with his parents and three minor children. He has actually four children, but three of them are currently living with him. After getting GED successfully, he has been working at Taco Bell as an associate there and worker. We would like to request for the lowest possible surety bond. We understand that it is the repetition of the same offense is not the best thing to do. We ask for at least $25 cash bond. Thank you.
Bond is set at $1,000. It's a surety bond. Next court date is May 28th. He does have 2 probation holds in addition to the felony case holding him at the jail. Thank you. Oh, and stay away from the Walmart store at 6149 Old National Highway in South Fulton. And he's required to stay away from all Walmart stores in Fulton County, Georgia. Thank you.
Next, we have position number 18, Ms. Johnson.
Hey. Kimmy Johnson is accused of stalking and harassing communications, 26 CR 3109F. Ms. Johnson, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Rosen Hoover. Any priors?
The last arrest was September 5th, 2023, out of Cherokee County for battery and PI. That did result in a misdemeanor conviction. That's their only cycle. It appears to be a hold out of Madison for an FTA, and the date of that is May the 20th, 2024. Nothing further.
I'm sorry, Ms. Tucker, yes.
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a $1,500 cash bond on each charge for a total of $3,000 with conditions no further contact with Nathan Pinkard or Lakeisha Mayberry, and to stay away from 920 Forest Overlook Trail in Atlanta. This victim, Pinkard, called about this defendant coming to his place uninvited. We did speak with him. Apparently, he does not know her. He had not known her in person. She reached out to him via Facebook, said, hello, good looking. He was polite. He responded, hello, beautiful. But after that, it just took off. The victim said she was in love with him. He tried blocking her. She got his photos, began posting them on her page, saying that they are married, saying that they had children. And he just doesn't know where any of this is coming from. She did eventually find out where he lived, and that's when she came to his place. That's when he called about stalking. He does have a TPO against her, but it had not been served yet on this date. So this is just very concerning. I am asking for that $3,000 total cash bond. If you're not inclined to give a cash bond, then no less than a $5,000 surety bond, with no further contact, stay away, and a social worker visit. And Mr. Pinkard did indicate that he would be on Zoom and he would like to speak.
Sure. Mr. Pinkard, if you'd like to contribute, please remember this is live stream, so it's going to be all over social media as well, but it's up to you. If you'd like to chime in, please start your video and unmute.
Good afternoon. Can you see and hear me?
Yes, we can. Please raise your
Great.
right hand if you want to add anything. Do you
Uh,
solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is, to the best of my knowledge.
Yes, sir. What would you like to tell us?
Yes, Your Honor. Again, my name is Nate Pinkard. I'm the victim in this case, and I'm before you today to request that this court either deny bond to Kimmy Johnson or set a significantly high cash-only bond. My girlfriend and I are in a constant state of fear of our physical safety. I'm also a combat veteran with PTSD and severe anxiety. In fact, I visited my counselor on yesterday. So this has been occurring for 3 years. The defendant has subjected me to an escalating pattern of delusion.
You don't know her?
I never met her one day in my life.
Other than the time
She
you
was-
responded to to a Facebook response from someone you do not know.
That's correct. And
Mistake number one.
Yes.
All right, and we'll leave it at that.
Lesson learned.
Okay,
And
we'll leave it at that.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Ms. Rosenhuber, anything else to add?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Ms. Johnson is 52 years old. She's resided here in Georgia for most of her life, though she did serve in the Army between 2009 and 2016. She has one 27-year-old daughter, and otherwise her mother lives here in Georgia. The address on file is still a good address for her. She has her bachelor's degree in education, and she's currently unemployed, but is drawing retirement from the military. In addition, Judge, she also is certified in radiology. That was what she was doing while in the military. Your Honor, she's advised that she will not be able to afford a bond that exceeds a $2,500 surety bond. I would, of course, ask for the lowest possible bond given her limited criminal history. And Your Honor, we discussed the no contact provision as well as the TPO that she became aware of upon arrest. I advised her that she could be facing felony charges if she were to violate moving forward. She said she completely understands that no contact will not be a problem. So I'm just asking the court to give her a reasonable bond that she can actually afford. Thank you.
Okay. On the harassing communications, that's going to be a $2,000 surety bond. On the stalking, that's going to be a $25,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. That means that she gets a split bond. And Ms. Johnson, please understand that if you violate any of the conditions of my bond, I'm going to authorize that the entire bond be converted to a cash bond. Do you understand? You can simply shake your head or nod your head. Do you understand?
25,000
signature bond. 1,000. Yes, ma'am. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. and you're going to be monitored by pretrial for the next 12 months. And you report to pretrial twice a month. If you violate any of the conditions of my bond, and make sure you get a copy of the bond order, you will be facing a $25,000 cash bond. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay. You will report to pretrial services twice a month. You will stay 500 yards away from Mr. Nathan Pinkett and Miss Lakeisha Mayberry, as well as their location at the Forest Overlook Way. 500 yards is the distance of 5 football fields. Are you familiar with football?
Certainly, yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, 5 football fields, then you should understand the distance that you're required to maintain. You're not to communicate with any of them, including their immediate family members, either in person, through mail, email, any kind of phone device or any kind of computer device, and especially not on social media. If you attempt to communicate with any of them, the victim simply have to let the solicitor's office know, submit an affidavit, and your bond will be revoked immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. You are to maintain a current address with the clerk's office and your with the court at all times. I understand that a temporary protective order, an ex parte order, has been granted in Gwinnett County Superior Court. You can either acknowledge service or you can wait to be served. And then Mr. Pinkett and Miss Mayberry can proceed with their hearing in Gwinnett County Superior Court. If you violate a Superior Court no further contact order, as your attorney said, you can be facing a felony charge of aggravated stalking, which in most cases is no bond for several weeks. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your next court date is going to be May 28th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we got Mr. 9 and 10, Mr. Downing.
Oh, by the way, no illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, Miss Johnson. Don't forget that. And Miss Rosenhuber, please make sure she gets a copy of a bond order.
And I know we're about to start with Mr. Downing. I did want to make the court aware there is another accusation that was filed down for Mr. Jovante Wallace. So that should be coming through the pipeline if it's not already. So there should be one add-on calendar position, Judge.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. All right, courtroom 2, we have Jermilith Cowrie Downing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Downing has 2 cases before us. On position 9, it is 26 CR 3090A, accused of criminal trespass from May 13th, 2026. Second case is 26 CR 3091A, accused of simple battery, family violence, and reckless conduct from April 9th, 2026. Mr. Downing, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Miss. Is this a conflict case?
I believe so.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's appoint Mr. Dennis Murphy, since Miss McLeod won't be back till June. Okay. Any priors, Miss Hardy?
The last arrest was July the 1st, 2025, out of Newton County for a probation violation. They have 9 total cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Pennsylvania. There was a 2025 felony conviction for forgery, a FTA in 2024, and there appears to be a hold out of Harrisburg, PA, and one out of Covington, Georgia. Nothing further.
Do you know if it's a felony hold out of Pennsylvania?
It
I
says
don't
it's
know
for an
if I
FTA. It doesn't list the underlying charge.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
it was for oh no, excuse me. That was for a failure to appear. But I don't know if it's necessarily holding him. What I did want to highlight is well, I'll get to that in a second. The criminal trespass, April 10th, he was given the warning from Georgia State Property. He was found again on T-deck on May 13th, and you can see why he was found again, or why he was there originally on April 10th, because he left on April 9th for the other incident, the simple battery, family violence, and reckless conduct. That was at 1200 Mobile Street in Atlanta. Looks like a residential complex. And the victim's name is Miss Tiana Wilson. The defendant and her lived together, and there was an argument about him sweating next to her on the bed. She asked him to move. He got upset. Things escalated, so she picked up her son, juvenile CW, and went outside for her safety, at which point he pursued her and punched her with a closed fist in the right shoulder, causing the child to hit his head on the metal fence nearby. There weren't visible injuries, thankfully, to neither Miss Wilson nor the son. But what I did find notable was that he's also been booked in on two different aggravated assault cases, 26 PI 003814. Aggravated assault, hindering persons making emergency phone calls, simple battery, family violence. That is against the same victim from March 8th of this year for striking and strangling her to near loss of consciousness after she was trying to call the police to report something that I won't go into here. But it's not good. Also, 26 PI 003815 aggravated assault from that was subsequent to this incident on April 14th, 2026. I was arrested for strangling her to the point to where she did lose consciousness and threatening to kill her if the police came. Also stated that he had stabbed her with a pocket knife there, and they did observe visible injuries to her along those lines with respect to both acts. With the open cases in Superior Court against the same victim.
Oh, that's okay. I don't need to get
yeah.
into that. I just
All
want
right.
to know what's your bond recommendation for these misdemeanor charges?
Yes, Judge. For the criminal trespass, $1,000 surety, stay away from all GSU property in accordance with the active suspension. For the other case, we are recommending a $10,000 cash bond total, $5,000 each, out of extraordinary concern for her safety and the risk to her life that the defendant poses if he's out of jail. We're recommending that. No further contact with Tiana Wilson. Stay away. 1200 Mobile Street in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. We're recommending no further contact with the juvenile CW as well. And if he does bond out, we would recommend FFIB and an ankle monitor, Judge.
Tiana Wilson, if you want to chime in, this is the time to unmute and start your video. Okay. Mr. Downing, looks like your attorney is going to be Mr. Dennis Murphy. We will reach out to him and let him know that you've got these two cases pending in addition to your felony cases. On the criminal trespass, it's going to be $1,000 surety bond to stay away from all Georgia State University property, including the parking decks, the buildings, whatever is classified as GSU property, you can't be there. All right. On the simple battery, there's going to be a $5,000 surety bond. On the reckless conduct, that's going to be a $5,000 surety bond. This is a total of a $10,000 surety bond. No further contact with Tiana Wilson. No further contact with the child or children that she has. You're to stay away from the 1200 Mobile. What was that name again?
1200 Mobile Street in
Mobile
Atlanta.
Street.
Yes,
Got
Your
it.
Honor.
Okay. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And for a duration of 12 months, you'll be equipped with an ankle monitor, and the monitoring expenses have to be paid by you. So, Ms. Champion, please make a note of the ankle monitor requirement. Thank you.
And did Your Honor order no further contact with the juvenile? I can't remember.
Yes, no further contact with Ms. Wilson and any child or children that she has.
Thank you.
Next case.
Position number 28, Ms. Sheets.
Antoinette Sheets, Sheats, is accused of fleeing and attempting to elude a police officer, failure to obey signs or control devices, driving while license suspended or revoked, and driving on the wrong side of an undivided street from April 30th of this year, case number 26 CR 3096H. Ms. Sheets, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Rosen Hoover. Any priors or any driving priors?
Last arrest was May the 6th, 2026 out of Brookhaven for a probation violation. There's 12 cycles, misdemeanor conviction in 2018 for reckless conduct. Nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor, and we did run the driving history, a few NOLOs for driving while license suspended or revoked. 2025 Brookhaven Municipal Court, another NOLO for driving without a valid license and giving false information, 2017. And I did see additional arrests for driving while license suspended or revoked, roughly 4 without a disposition. And the open Fulton case, 26 PI 003837. It's a felony theft by taking, and that is an auto theft case. The state's recommendation here is going to be a $3,000 total surety. We would recommend $1,000 on the fleeing and eluding, given the risk to public safety here. $1,000 on the driving while license suspended or revoked, given the recidivist nature of this. $500 on each of the remaining charges. No driving without a valid license, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Rosenhuber?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Sheets is 33 years old. She's a lifelong Georgia resident. She has 2 children, ages 7 and 3. Additionally, her mother does live here in Georgia as well. Her 2 young daughters are currently staying with a friend of hers, and she's anxious to get out and provide for them. Your Honor, she's a high school graduate, and she's held a job as a manager at the Pizza Hut on Metropolitan for the past 2 years. Your Honor, I believe these charges already have a surety bond set at $3,000. My request is that they be reduced, given the fact that she is already being held in on that felony $5,000 bond. She's a single mom and is trying to make ends meet and can't afford a bond much higher than that $5,000. Thank you.
I might be wrong, but didn't that theft by taking involve her employer?
I don't believe so, Judge, but I haven't candidly looked at it closely.
Or maybe I'm thinking.
She is shaking her head no, but
Okay.
It
That's
said
fine.
unknown. They weren't. I had the warrant up recently. They didn't know each other.
Okay. On the driving, fleeing, or attempting to loot, that's 1,000. The failure to obey traffic signs is 500. Driving while license suspended or revoked is 1,000. And driving on the wrong side of the undivided street is 500. This is a $3,000 surety bond. Unfortunately, with her open felony case, her probation violations, and her significant criminal record history, do not qualify her for a signature bond. No driving unless she has a current valid Class C driver's license, adequate insurance, and proper registration. The next court date is May 28th. Thank you.
All right, next we got number 30, Mr. Solis Lopez.
And who's Miss Kim? Did you need a Spanish interpreter for this case?
Yes, we do, Your
All right.
Honor.
Miss Lucia, I think she just joined us.
And we did send a consent bond on this, I
Yes,
believe.
correct. He actually accepted consent bond as long as he gets to go there one time to retrieve his personal belongings.
And he needs a Spanish interpreter, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm just waiting for Miss Lucia to come on.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
I am on camera now. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Your Honor.
no
I was
problem. No
transferred
problem.
from one place to another.
All right. Miss Lucia, do you solemnly swear and affirm the translation you provide will be true and accurate?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is State versus Alexis Solis Lopez, accused of criminal trespass from May 7th, 2026, under case number 26 CR 3113E.
Este es el caso del Estado en contra del señor Alexis Solís López por un allanamiento de morada, traspaso que sucedió el 7 de mayo del 2026. Y el número de casos del 26 CR003113E.
Mr. Solis Lopez, you've been advised, oh, no, sorry, you've not. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. And currently your counsel is Miss Kim.
Señor Solís, usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio. Cualquier cosa que usted diga puede ser y será usada en contra suya. También tiene el derecho a tener un abogado. Si usted no puede costear un abogado para esta audiencia, un abogado se le será dado, se le prestará y tiene como abogada a la señora Kim.
There is an agreement for your bond between you and the prosecutor. Mr. Scirocco will let us know the terms.
Existe un acuerdo ya entre usted y la fiscalía para su bono de fianza. El fiscal, señor Scirocco, nos va a dejar saber ahora lo que es.
On the criminal trespass, it is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1.
Por la acusación de allanamiento de morada, traspaso criminal, es un bono de fianza de $3,000 únicamente con su firma por medio de la oficina anterior a los juicios en la cárcel nivel número 1.
Defendant shall meet with a social worker visit for social worker for housing.
Debe también tener una reunión con un trabajador social para hablar sobre vivienda.
Defendant shall stay away from 1898 Chattahoochee Place in East Point. The state is fine with a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve belongings.
También una orden de que necesita permanecer lejos de la 1898 Chattahoochee Place en East Point. Puede regresar una sola vez para adquirir y para sacar sus pertenencias con una escolta policíaca.
Defendant shall have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Y tampoco tiene una orden, o sea, piden también una orden de no drogas, alcohol o ningún tipo de arma mientras está bajo fianza.
And the defendant shall have no further violations of the law regarding the stay away, that law enforcement escort that would need to be amended on the bond order, Judge.
Y no debe tener ninguna violación de la ley en ningún momento en el futuro mientras está bajo esta fianza que va a ser incluido esto ahí.
And I'm sorry, what was that last one? What has to be amended?
Oh, defense was requesting, and the state is fine with a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve belongings.
Okay. Ms. Kim, your client has agreed to these terms?
Yes, I just wanted to verify one thing. My client said that he was arrested on May 7, 2026, more than a week ago at East Point. I don't think there was any charge other than this particular charge, but we were not able to communicate clearly. And I wanted to just verify if this is not a Riverside issue, just in case.
Well, if it went through municipal, I do also have May 7th.
Let me see. Was it a bind over?
Yes, it was a
I believe
bind
so,
over.
Judge.
All right, then let's leave it at that. Ms. Kim, it was a bind over. He had first appearance at municipal court.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Lucia?
Lo que estaban ahorita en este momento hablando es que usted fue detenido el 7 de mayo en la Corte Municipal, o sea, bajo el sistema de la Corte Municipal de Riverside. Entonces, ha sido un caso que lo mandaron desde ahí hasta la cárcel de Fulton.
All right, I will accept the terms. Mr. Solis Lopez, your bond is $3,000. It will be a sign-on bond. You don't have to pay for it, but you must report to pretrial services once a month.
En cuanto al fallo de la jueza, ella va a aceptar el acuerdo, acepta el bono de fianza bajo firma nada más por $3,000, pero necesita presentarse en persona a la oficina que le van a indicar anterior a los juicios una vez al mes.
If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, you will be arrested again and brought back to jail, and your signature bond will be revoked.
Si es que usted viola o no obedece alguna de las condiciones de esta fianza, que ya llegáramos al acuerdo y se lo indiqué, entonces le van a quitar el bono de fianza bajo firma y será nuevamente arrestado y traído a la cárcel.
The conditions to stay away, at least 200 yards away from 1898 Chattahoochee Place in East Point, and not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and not to possess any weapons.
Y las condiciones que debe obedecer son: necesita permanecer lejos, por lo menos 200 yardas de la dirección 1898 Chattahoochee Place en East Point, y no puede consumir ninguna droga, no puede consumir nada de alcohol, ni portar ni tener ningún tipo de arma mientras está bajo fianza.
You are allowed a one-time visit to the Chattahoochee Place with a police officer. That visit cannot exceed 1 hour.
Puede regresar una sola vez a esa dirección de Chattahoochee Place con la escolta de un policía únicamente para sacar sus pertenencias, y solamente por un periodo de tiempo de 1 hora máximo.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Eso
Your
es
Honor.
todo. Gracias.
Ms. Kim, make sure he gets a copy of the bond order.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next we have number 16, Mr. James.
And Your Honor, if that is all my business for the court today, may I be excused, please?
Just let me check. Defense counsel, any of your clients require the services of a Spanish interpreter?
Not anymore, Your Honor.
Ms. Rosenhuber too? We good? Ms. Kim, anyone else in the courtroom too needs a Spanish interpreter?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lucia. You have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well. Have a good weekend.
You too. All right, I'm sorry. Courtroom 2, who do we have now?
Number 16,
Number
Mr. James.
16, thank you.
And he's 16 and 17.
Yeah, got it. Mr. Ahmad James has 2 cases before us today. Let's begin with position 16. That's 26 CR 3111L, accused of simple assault family violence from April 7th of this year. The second case is 26 CR 3112L, accused of 1 count of battery family violence, 1 count of battery against a female who is pregnant, and simple assault family violence from May 14th of 2026. Mr. James, you've been advised of your rights. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was November 27th, 2024, out of Fulton for possession of Schedule 1 controlled substance and driving while license suspended or revoked. They have 2 cycles. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. On position 16, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions: no further contact with Donzia Jackson, to stay away from 6 Edwin Place in Atlanta, and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons with random drug screens. On position 17, we're asking for a $2,500 cash bond on the battery family violence, $2,500 cash on the battery against a pregnant female, and $1,000 good bond on the simple assault, for a $6,000 split bond with the same no further contact and stay away condition, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and random drug screens. And position 16, this occurred on April 7th of this year. Victim told officers that her boyfriend, the defendant, has a drug addiction, and when he smokes crack, he becomes very aggressive and physically hits her. On this date, he just threw a water bottle at her, but she was able to dodge. But she reported it at this time because she was 12 weeks pregnant and feared for the safety of her unborn child. So that was last month. Now, bring us to this month, just yesterday. Again, there's issues with the defendant smoking crack. The victim woke up and was getting ready to leave and just go stay in a hotel because she does not want to be around his violence. And he grabbed her from behind by the neck, pulled her by her clothing, threw her to the ground, then slapped her in the face and grabbed a cane, acting as though he was going to hit her with it. She did have visible marks on her neck and her lower back, and at this point now she is 18 weeks pregnant. We did speak with her, and I do see that she is on the Zoom. She did confirm everything in the warrants, confirm she is 18 weeks pregnant, and the defendant knows that she is pregnant, and that these incidents are just unprovoked. He just gets angry when he gets high, and he gets high every single day. She has left the home and plans to get all of her things. She has no issue with him returning to the home after she vacates it. But until then, we would ask for a stay away. And she let us know she would like a high cash bond. So if at this time we could sound for Miss Jackson.
Luncia Jackson, if you want to chime in, this is your time to unmute and start your video. Miss Jackson, you need to start your video. Okay. No. All right. Now,
just wanna
can
say,
you? Nope. Nope. Can you move to a location where I can see you clearly? You have a light right over you, and I can't see you properly. All right. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. Are you Lonzia Jackson?
Yes, I just want to say Ahmad's not a bad person. He just needs some sort of counseling to deal with the things of his past. That's all.
All right. And how many children do you share with him?
Yes.
How many children do you share with him?
Just one. I'm currently pregnant.
So you don't currently have any children, you're pregnant with a child by him. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. That's all
Correct.
Thank you. You may mute your screen, please. Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. James is 38 years old, and the incident location is actually where he resides with his mother, who is 78 years old. And my client is a main caregiver for her, who is not able to move well without his help. He does have two other children that he has to take care of as well. And after graduating from high school, 2006, he went to Atlanta Tech to become a chef. And Your Honor, he's certified for OSHA, self-serve, and now he's working as a chef at Mr. P Barbecue. And Your Honor, we would like to request for the lowest possible bond. This is his second arrest. And the first one was not related to any kind of violence. And we asked for signature on bond. And if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of two incidents in a row, we asked for $1,000 surety bond. Thank you.
All right. And I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, could you please unmute and start your video? I forgot to ask you whether you're still residing at the Edwin Place location. Miss Lonzia Jackson. Are you still
No, I'm not.
residing? Are you planning to return to the what was it, Edwin Place location?
No, I'm not still there.
No, are you planning to return to that location?
Only to get the rest of my things.
And when do you plan to do that?
I'll be off of work on Monday, so go back on Monday.
So you're working the weekend then?
Yes.
Okay. And the Monday is what, 15, 16, 17, 18th? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, on the simple assault family violence from April 7th, 2026, that's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services, and that's going to be a level 3 report. He will report to pretrial services once a week for a duration of 12 months. He will also enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. Within 30 days of reporting to pretrial services, This is a series of 24 weeks of classes that he would need to attend and complete while he's out on a pretrial bond. Please be sure that you complete these classes because failure to do so can result in a revocation of your bond. You will be subject to random screens for illegal drugs and alcoholic beverages. You're not allowed to consume either of these substances, and you must have at least a mandatory once a month screen for illegal drugs and alcoholic beverages. You have to have no contact with Lonzia Jackson. You have to stay 200 yards away from her and not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. If you wish to have any contact with the child or children that you will have with Ms. Jackson, you must file a legitimation case and obtain a court-ordered parenting plan or joint custody, because otherwise you're not to contact any of her children or the children that she will have. There was one other thing. Oh, no illegal drugs, as I've said, no alcoholic beverages, no weapons, and no firearms. And the other condition is that you may return to the 6 Edwin Place location after midnight on May 19th, 2026. You may return after midnight on May 19th, 2026. You have to stay away from that location until then. With regards to your second case on the battery family violence, that's going to be $1,000 surety bond. On the battery against a female who's pregnant, that's going to be a $3,500 surety bond. And the simple assault family violence is going to be a $500 surety bond. That's going to be a total of a $5,000 surety bond. Same conditions. No contact with Miss Lonzia Jackson. Stay away from the Edwin Place until May 19th, 2026. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. Both cases are going to be further noticed to May 28th.
Your Honor, can you have a 10% program, Your Honor?
No, we're good. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, can you give me the breakdown of that surety bond again?
Sure. $1,000 surety on count 1, $3,500 surety on count 2, and 500 surety on count 3. And that should add up to 5,000 surety.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right. Next case.
21, Mr. Mahaffey.
And Ms. Kim, again, make sure your clients have the copy of the bond order. Next case, please. Keaton Mahaffey. Is that correct? Mahaffey.
Okay. Okay.
And we did send a consent bond offer on this, but I don't believe I heard back.
Oh, and he accepted the consent bond, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. This is Keaton Mahaffey, accused of criminal trespass causing damage to property from May 14th of this year. Case is 26 CR 3108H. Mr. Mahaffey, you've been advised of your rights. And what are the terms, Mr. Scaraco?
Yes, Your Honor. For the criminal trespass, damage to property, $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. Defendant shall submit to an MH evaluation and comply with any recommended treatment. Defendant shall have no violent contact with Miss Belinda Harris. Shall have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and shall have no further violations of the law. We did speak with Miss Harris. Her son is going through a MH breakdown as of recent, and they just moved into a home after having lived out of a car for some time. And he got upset when she was talking to him about getting a job. And she used to work a lot with individuals who deal with MH. She says she's familiar with what her son's going through and that he's a good kid, just needs some help. And wants him to return home. I do believe she wanted to address the court today, and she was requesting an MH eval and treatment for him. which we would certainly recommend as well, per the consent bond as proposed and accepted. If we could sound for Ms. Harris, Judge.
Belinda Harris, please unmute and start your video.
Hello.
Yes, Ms. Harris, please start your video.
Hi. I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
Your Honor, if this is talking about MH issue, we would like to request that YouTube live stream can be
Okay.
No, stop. What's your name, please?
Belinda Harris.
And what's your relation to Mr. Mathey?
I'm his mother.
All right. Miss Harris, I am not going to discuss any medical conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
Related to your son.
Yes.
Do you have anything else to tell me? Oh, please raise your right hand first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Nothing to do with his MH
Right. Okay.
or medical condition.
Yes, ma'am. I'm more than fine with him coming home. He just he only broke some like glasses, cups.
Okay.
Um,
He's going to be released on a signature bond. So he doesn't have to pay for his bond today. But if
Okay.
he doesn't report to pretrial at least once a month, and if he doesn't comply with the other conditions of his bond order,
Okay.
then he'll be in trouble. His bond could be revoked.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. I just want him, to just, because he's a great young man. He is, and he loves to work. He's very smart and intelligent. He has his certificate in forklifting. Driving the little cart things and stuff. He went to school for that, and he doesn't get in any trouble. He really doesn't. Like you said, we're not going to discuss that part of it, but I'm just seeking help for that.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Kim, you indicated that your client's accepting these terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll accept the terms.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Also, can I add that he has to be respectful and stop calling me out of my name?
Understood. Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Harris.
Thank you.
All right. As I was saying, Mr. Mahaffey, in case you were not paying attention, I hope you pay attention now. This is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond order, you will be arrested and brought back to jail. So please be sure to bring $4,000 with you when you come back to jail. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay. The conditions to your bond is that you are to undergo an MH evaluation with your healthcare provider within 10 days of being released. So you must show proof that you have sought out your healthcare provider and obtained an MH evaluation. If the therapist or psychologist or whoever you meet recommends treatment, counseling, and medication, you must submit to that. You are to have no violent contact with Belinda Harris, which includes no verbal altercations, no derogatory statements. If you cannot be respectful, go take a long walk. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right. If you cannot be respectful, either move out and go find your own place or learn how to be silent. That's simply the way it's going to be from now on. You are to have no violent contact, which means also no physical altercations that could get the police involved. So if you violate these conditions, back in jail, bond is surrendered. You are to actively seek employment from this moment onwards. And when you report to your pretrial officer, you will show proof that you are actively seeking employment with at least a minimum of 2 contacts per week, which means that you must show that you've tried to reach out to 2 possible employers per week and that you're actively seeking employment, which means that you must present at least 8 contacts to your pretrial officer every month. You'll be subject to monitoring for a duration of 12 months. which means you report to pretrial services at least once a month.
Okay.
No illegal drugs are to be consumed, no alcohol, and you're not allowed to have any weapons, including firearms. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That was level 2, right?
Level
No,
one,
one.
level one.
All right, next we got 23, Mr. Morabi.
Miss Harris, you're free to go. This is Abdel Aziz Morabi. Mr. Morabi there yet? No, not yet. Okay.
Hi, Judge. How are you doing?
Abdel Aziz Morabi is accused of simple battery and criminal trespass in case 26 CR 3093J from May 12th of this year. You've been advised of your rights. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was September the 17th, 2025 out of Fulton for theft by shoplifting. That case is open under 25 PI 007674. They're currently being supervised by pretrial, so we'll be surrendering their bond on that. They have 3 cycles, nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Judge. This was the where the employee at the DGX was videoing the defendant, she reported has shoplifted roughly 10 to 15 times from that store, 881 Peachtree Street in Atlanta. You see that he has that open case as pretrial explained, FTA on that, being held on that without bond. That was for stealing over $2,000 worth of tools from Home Depot. He had struck her while she was holding her phone. Phone fell, and then stated to her, "I'll see you outside." We did speak with the victim here, Miss Kylie Watley. She is the store manager. I said employee, my mistake. And she's worked at the store for just over a year. He's stolen from the location around 10 to 15 times. Just within the past 2 months, she states, and she is seeking a stay away from the store as well as a no further contact with her. She was concerned that the defendant would harm her, and still feels that way. And the state is going to be asking for a $4,000 surety here, based on his history and the facts. $3,000 on the simple battery and $1,000 on the criminal trespass. No further contact with Kylie Watley. Stay away from DGX at 881 Peachtree Street in Atlanta. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. I'm not sure if he needs a social worker visit, Judge.
Miss Hardy, what's his pretrial bond? I saw he was given a UJR. So but he's got a bench warrant.
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like he failed. Give me one moment to look that up again. I'm sorry.
Okay, while we're waiting, Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Morabi is 51 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for more than 20 years. Your Honor, he is a U.S. citizen, and he does have 5 children. 3 of them are still under 18 years old, so he has to take care of. However, he has been not able to take care of anybody except himself. He has been residentially challenged for a while, and it is he lost his self-employed business, and he went through a lot of financial crisis. Also, at this point, he is living off a disability check that he is getting. Your Honor, I will be recommending him for social worker visit for housing resources and DHET. And yet, Your Honor, I would like to request for signature on bond because he has no other way to make any bond payment right now. And there's a $1,500 surety bond. We asked for $1,500 signature on bond level 2.
Well, unfortunately, he's got an FTA, so he doesn't qualify for a signature bond. It looks like his next court date with felony court is going to be the same time as the SAP calendar. So, but in the meantime, on the simple battery, that's going to be $2,500. The criminal trespass is going to be $1,500. This is a $4,000 surety bond. He's to stay away from the incident location at 881 Peachtree Street in Atlanta, Georgia. Have no contact with Kylie Watley, which means he's to stay 200 yards away and not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. His next court date is May 28th at 9 a.m., which will be around the same time that he'll be before Judge Hughes on the felony FTA. Thank you.
All right, let's get 29, Mr. Smith.
Next case, please.
29, Mr. Smith. Hey, man. Now get up. Hang on.
Kevin Smith is accused of simple battery against an officer, willful obstruction of an officer, and disorderly conduct. May 13, 2026 is the incident date. Case number 26 CR 3100Y. He's been advised of his rights, and his attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors?
The last arrest was June the 2nd, 2018, out of New York for assault with intent to cause injury to officer, fireman, EMT, or crossing guard. They have 7 total cycles, arrests out of Georgia, New York, and Colorado. There was a felony conviction in 2019 out of New York for assault. Nothing further.
Mr. Scaraca?
Yes, Your Honor. With his history and with the victim here being a law enforcement officer, the state is recommending a $2,000 total surety. It's $1,000 for the simple battery against a law enforcement officer, $500 on the remaining counts of obstruction and disorderly conduct. We believe a social worker visit for BH would be appropriate here, as well as a stay away from the Publix, and that is located at 3330 Piedmont Road, Northeast in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Kim?
I don't.
Okay, yeah, I was
Yeah.
just saying, no, no. I've been trying to serve down
Smith is actually 52 years old, and he has been residentially established for a while. And he used to work at home health, some kind of like health industry. However, he right now, because of his disability, he's not able to work. And we would like to request for the signature on bond. He has last case was 2018. For the last 8 years, he has not had any kind of arrest. We would like to request for signature on bond.
I don't want to signature bond, Judge. I don't want to signature bond back. You know, I'm just sit in jail and pay the debt off. You know what I'm saying?
You have a right to amend that.
But well, I'm saying I get disability check, and people are taking my check from me, and so it's not the right time to get out of jail right now. You know what I mean? Right.
Count 1 is a $1,000 surety bond. Count 2 is a $1,000 surety bond. Count 3 is a $500 surety bond. This is a $2,500 surety bond. If you do not want to post your bond, then we will see you on May 28th.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll just work it off your case.
Your Honor, have you ever at least,
Oh, and I'm sorry, he'll need to be seen by a social worker in order to be evaluated. Thank you.
Okay,
Did we get a stay away, Judge?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, stay away from, well, he wasn't going to post bond, so I completely
Right.
forgot about that. Mr. Smith, unfortunately, you cannot return to the Publix grocery store
I
in
won't.
3330 Piedmont Road in Northeast Atlanta. Thank you.
Your Honor, can you have a 10%? There's no. Okay.
Ms. Smith, I'm just complying.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, 31, Mr. Towdy.
Mr. Sandeep Ramachandran Towdy is accused of simple battery, family violence, criminal trespass, and hindering a person from making an emergency phone call. Case incident date is May 13th, 2026. Is it Mr. Towdy or Mr. Towdy?
Mr. Towdy, you're right.
Towdy. Okay, so it's 26 CR 3122G. You've been advised of your rights, and Miss Hardy, any priors?
No, Your Honor, no history to report.
Okay. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the incident that was witnessed by two third-party witnesses, and this was out in public near 1921 Marsh Trail Circle in Sandy Springs, where I believe the two parties here reside. The victim's name is Miss Roshani Pute. And he had, after she had grabbed the child that they share, and started walking away with the child, he began striking her multiple times, shoulder, back. One witness said struck her in the head as well. And this was in the presence of that juvenile, a TA, or the initials. And additionally, he had struck her, taken her phone and thrown it, and damaged the phone. It looks like there were cracks in the phone that officers observed. And this was when she was trying to call 911. State's recommending signature bond through pretrial services. The caveat being we are recommending FIB with that. We haven't spoken with Miss Roshani Setpute, but we would ask the court sound for her when appropriate, out of an abundance of caution. Certainly no further contact. Stay away from the apartment complex that's at 1921 Marsh Trail Circle in Sandy Springs. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Roshani Satpute, if you are on Zoom and you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. Roshani Satpute. Righty. Mrs. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Only thing that we would like to request is that incident location is actually my client's place. He and his son have been single father and a son. Apparently, his wife abandoned his son and him about November 31st, 2025 to leave him. She went to India and then came back yesterday, very suddenly, the day before yesterday. We asked for one-time law enforcement officer visit to verify that she is not living there. And once he's verified there's nobody there, we would like to ask my client to return.
This is a problematic situation where you have both spouses. I don't know what their residency status is or whether there is an issue with whether there's been a divorce action, whether there's a parenting plan. It gets very complicated because of the nature of the situation. But there is one salient fact from this case is that Mr. Taude is charged with a criminal offense involving family violence, and Ms. Satpute is not. And that is a salient fact that is going to govern the bond. And if Mr. Taude does not agree with the bond, this is something that he can definitely address down the road. But presently, the other salient fact that he needs to recognize is that even though Ms. Satpute has allegedly left him, it does not mean that the location at Marsh Trail Circle in Sandy Springs is not the marital home, because we have to come down to the fact that they're still married, there's still a marital home, and there's still a child in this marriage, which is going to govern the bond. Now, Mr. Satpute, and with regards to the simple battery family violence, that's going to be a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. On the criminal trespass, that's going to be a 500 signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. And hindering a person from making an emergency phone call, that's going to be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. This is going to be a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. Unfortunately, Ms. Satpute is not here to corroborate any of the allegations raised by Mr. Taude, so these are going to be the terms. He's to have no further contact with Ms. Roshani Satpute. If she is living at the marital home at Marsh Trail Circle, then he has to find an alternative place to stay. He's allowed a one-time visit to the marital home at 1921 Marsh Trail Circle in Sandy Springs with a police officer. And the police officer must verify that the property is not being occupied by Miss Satpute. If she is occupying the marital home, then he has the right to retrieve certain personal belongings, and then he's to vacate the premises. And that visit cannot exceed 1 hour. Within 30 days of being released from pretrial, he must then update us with a new address. As this is a family violence situation, unfortunately, he won't be able to return to the marital home until further order of the court or if she vacates the premises. I'm going to allow for a third-party transfer of the child, which means that he must communicate with Ms. Satpute either through a third party or through an attorney in order to come up with a parenting plan, which will then be executed between Ms. Satpute and Mr. Tande. In no event can the child leave the state of Georgia. The child's passport, as well as the party's passport, must be surrendered to pretrial. So the child is not allowed to leave the state of Georgia during the pendency of this case. If Mr. Tande wants to file a divorce action after he's released, he's free to do so. And that parenting plan can also come up during the course of that time. He is to enroll in a 12 anger awareness classes, and those anger awareness classes will be through pretrial services. He's to complete those classes at a minimum rate of 1 class per month. He will be subject to pretrial monitoring for a minimum period of 12 months. No illegal drugs are to be consumed, no alcoholic beverages, and he's not allowed to own or possess any firearms. Any questions, Ms. Kim?
Yeah, I haven't.
You can ask me. Yeah. That's okay. That's yeah.
All right. Any questions, Mrs. Scaraco?
No, Your Honor.
No questions. All right. Please make sure that your client gets a copy of the bond order.
Sure.
And this case is further notice. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, then we have 32, Mr. Wallace.
And has the add-on calendar come in for this yet? I refiled it.
You just
I
sent
got-
it on calendar now, Mr. Sirocco.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Strong.
You're welcome.
All right. We're still on the main calendar, right?
He has positions on both, Judge.
Okay. So let me go ahead and pull that one up as well. 222. All right. Mr. Jovante Wallace has 2 cases with us today. On the main calendar, his case number is 26 CR 003-104H, 104F. Simple battery family violence from April 4th, 2026. And sorry, let me correct myself. He has 2 additional cases that have been added to the calendar today. The second case is 26 CR 3003-126F. And
It was the same case, Judge. The clerk added it twice. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no problem.
So
Oh,
it's only one
so
case.
that's one additional case then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then there's one additional case against Mr. Wallace, and that's 26 CR 3126F, and he's accused of battery family violence from May 7th, 2026. Mr. Wallace, so these are the two cases that are pending against you in state court. You've been advised of your rights. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, their last arrest was February 9th, 2025 out of Fulton for possession of a firearm, sale of marijuana, theft by receiving. It appears to be open under 25 PI 001066. There's 32 total cycles. Looks like a misdemeanor conviction in 2024 for simple battery family violence, a 2015 theft by shoplifting, false imprisonment, where they got first offender, it was revoked in 2015. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. There are additional convictions that they didn't appear in GCIC. You can see them in the Fulton system. He's been convicted of, in addition to that simple battery family violence conviction, of three battery family violence convictions in three different cases, twice in 2024 under 22 CR 000695C and 21 CR 001872C. Additionally, there is another prior battery family violence conviction out of DeKalb County, 06C77809-7B. But he is, with respect to the first case, this was the April 4th incident, 3604 Oakshire Way in Atlanta. The victim and the defendant were living together at the incident location. The victim's name is Miss Monique Wheeler. And they were dating, and he had struck her. She was having a dispute with him, and he struck her in the back of the head with a closed fist several times as she tried to get away from him. Um, and with respect to the April 7th battery family violence case, that was at 960 Constitution Road in Atlanta. There was a dispute call there, and they made contact with Miss Beatty Hill, the victim there. She explained that the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, on and off again
Oh,
relationship.
I'm sorry. Did courtroom two disappear?
Oh, good catch, Judge.
Let's just hold until they return.
Mhm.
They're back, Judge.
All right, Miss Kim, I'm sorry, we lost you for a moment. Mr. Scirocco was just through his narrative. What was the last thing you heard? Well, that's okay.
The
That's okay.
second, I can touch on it quickly. Miss Beatty Hill, again, ex-boyfriend is the defendant of Miss Hill, and on and off again relationship. They share the same address according to his driver's license. And he had entered her vehicle and began striking her in the face with his fists when she had returned home to pick up her children. The officer saw the swollen right eye on Miss Hill, consistent with her statement. And we did speak with both of the victims here, Miss Monique Wheeler. I do believe I see her online. She and the defendant have been together since November 2025, living together. They don't share children, and she confirmed the events in the report. Defendant had been coming home around 5 a.m. And came home one day. Defendant was showering, and he would shower and go back out on the streets. And she told him he can go back out and be with whatever woman he was with. And when they were arguing, she turned around to walk away, and that's when the defendant attacked her. This is the first time he's attacked her, but she's aware of another incident with the mother of his child. And she states she's okay with him returning home, and that the defendant called her from jail yesterday. We are certainly not okay with him returning home. The Ms. Hill, who we spoke with, excuse me, her memory of the incident is, she states, is not so good, but she does remember getting into the car, arguing about something, and she stated she didn't want to go off back and forth in front of the children. Her children were apparently getting off the bus, and the incident occurred subsequent to that. Um, she states they don't speak anymore and don't share any children, so I believe those are her children. The With respect to the 21 CR case, 001872C, it's the same victim, Miss Beatty Hill. He had walked up behind her and grabbed her and scratched her face before running outside to her vehicle and damaging her front windshield. The 22 CR ending in 695C and the 23 CR ending in 806C, which are battery family violence and simple battery family violence convictions, respectively, are against a different woman with whom he lived and shared a child with, in that order, as far as the cases are concerned. Um, so he has a serious problem with domestic violence, Judge. He has not, from what I can tell, completed FFIB, unsatisfactory termination of his probation, with looks like each of those three recent cases, um, not including the '06 one from DeKalb County. But the ones in Fulton, it doesn't appear he's completed FFIB at all. He has learned nothing from his experience in the court system here in Fulton nor in DeKalb. And if he's released, he will continue to beat on women in this fashion. It's just multiple women. Similar circumstances, similar facts here, and we're very, 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 very concerned if he's going to be out on the streets. The state's recommendation is going to be a $2,000 cash bond on the simple battery family violence, that being the April 4th incident against Miss Monique Wheeler. No further contact with Miss Monique Wheeler. Stay away from 3604 Oakshire Way, southeastern Atlanta. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. As for the add-on case, we are recommending an $8,000 cash bond, as this was the second offense against the same victim, Miss Beatty Hill. No further contact with Beatty Hill. Stay away from 960 Constitution Road in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If he does bond out, we are recommending FFIB and an ankle monitor. If we could sound for the victims at this time.
Monique Wheeler or Beatty, I think, Hill. If either one of you or both of you like to chime in, start your video and unmute your screen.
Oh, and we have we've requested a felony transfer for the add-on case, which is the reason for the late accusation, Judge. We haven't heard back from the DAs.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Kim, no one has chimed in. What would you like to tell us?
Yes, Mr. Wallace is 38 years old, born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He does have a one child, 11-year-old. After 11th grade, he successfully completed his GED, and currently he is working as a forklift operator. And Your Honor, this incident happened a while ago, and my client denies the allegation. He says that my client was the one who called the police, and he wants to make sure that he gets third-party transfer. As long as he gets third-party transfer from his child, he has no objection to no contact and stay away.
And that's with Miss Wheeler.
Both of
or
them.
Miss Hill, both of them. Okay.
Miss Wheeler said they don't share any children. And let me see. So I don't know how it could be both.
Okay. Well,
No contact.
he may know stuff that we don't, Mr. Scirocco. So
That's fair, Judge.
anything else, Miss Kim?
After that, we asked for, we understand that you may not have a signature on bond, but we asked for the lowest possible surety bond. Thank you.
Open felony case from last year, a new open felony case, 26 PI 003844. Very disturbing allegations from what I read. And then these two cases are not too long ago. They're just from April of 2026, which to me just harks back to last month. On the simple battery, that's going to be $1,000 cash bond. On the battery family violence, it's going to be a $2,500 cash bond only, which adds up to $3,500 cash bond only. No further contact with Beata Hill, no further contact with Monique Wheeler. He's to stay away from the incident locations for position 32 on the main calendar. That would be 3604 Oakshire Way in Southeast Atlanta. And with regards to Beata Hill on the add-on, it's going to be 960 Constitution Boulevard in Atlanta, Georgia. If he does post bond on these two cases as well as his open felony case, he's going to be required to be equipped with an ankle monitor. This will be for a duration of 12 months, and all monitoring expenses is going to be paid by Mr. Wallace. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And also with regards to any child or children that he shares with Miss Wheeler and or Miss Hill, he will have no contact with any of them. If he wishes to have any contact with the children, he must file a legitimation case with regards to the child or children that he shares with either or both women, and at which time they can also counter for child support and financial maintenance. Thank you. Oh, next court date for both cases is May 28th. Thank you. Next case?
I go to the Webb case, sorry, number 4, Mr. Betts.
Ms. Kim, where's Mr. Betts?
Oh, it's a waiver case, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I'm sorry, a waiver. Okay. So John Betts is accused of possession, use, or drug-related objects from May 13th of 2026, case 26 CR 3086H. And this is a waiver. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
Last arrest was December the 9th, 2025 out of DeKalb for a probation violation. They have 8 cycles, felony conviction in 2016, aggravated assault, robbery, possession of a firearm. Also in 2016, theft by receiving. There appears to be a hold out of Decatur for a probation violation, and the date of that is April 20th, 2026. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Escarocco, this is going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no drug-related objects, and he's to be released to his probation hold. Thank you.
That's fine, Judge. Next Webb case, number 7, Ms. Copeland.
Waiver.
All right. This is Ariel Tynese Copeland, accused of simple battery against an officer from May 9th of this year, 26 CR 3106L. This is a waiver. Any priors?
Last arrest was October.
I'm sorry. Yes, Ms. Kim?
This is actually a conflict case, but she actually waived even the conflict.
She waived what?
The conflict between her and her co-defendant. She has a co-defendant on this case, Your Honor, and I'm representing her co-defendant.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Ms. Copeland is going to be represented by conflict counsel. Let's go ahead and appoint Mr. Dennis Murphy. And I'm sorry, Ms. Hardy, what was the price?
The last arrest was October 9th, 2018 out of Palm Bay, Florida for burglary. There's 2 cycles out of Florida. Nothing further to report.
All right. Mr. Scirocco, this is going to be $1,000 surety bond, no violent contact with law enforcement. Next court date is going to be May 28th. Thank you.
Judge, we were recommending a continue with prescribed medication. This happened during the distribution of pills, medications. would that be fine, Your Honor?
Only thing I can do is compliance with treatment. You can bring the horse to the water, can't force them to drink it. Unless it's spiked. Okay, next case?
Number 15, Ms. Holmes. Also another waiver.
Yes, sir. Tarika Brianna Holmes is accused of simple battery against an officer. What's going on, deputy? Okay.
They are roommates and friends.
Okay.
Both.
May 9th, 2026. Accusation 26 CR 3114L. Okay, any priors, Miss Hardy?
Their last arrest was July 3rd, 2024, out of Hendry County, Florida, for battery. They have 3 cycles out of Florida, nothing further.
All right. Miss Kim, this is is she a resident? I can recall.
She has a Atlanta address. However, she is originally from Florida, but she does have a local address, Your Honor.
Okay. And Miss Tucker, what's your recommendation for
Yes, Judge. This is a duel with Miss Copeland, so I
Yeah.
would recommend the exact same $1,000 surety bond, no further contact, no further violent contact with any detention officers in the jail.
granted? Next case?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And May 28th is their
Number 19, Ms. Lewis.
Cassie Lewis is accused of criminal trespass, accusation 26 CR 3107B from May 14th of this year. This is a waiver. Is that true, Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And that's your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Hardy?
Last arrest April the 2nd, 2026, out of Fulton for criminal trespass, possession of tools and obstruction. It's open under 26 PI 002698. There's 5 cycles arrests out of Georgia and Ohio. There was a felony conviction for DUI out of Ohio in 2024. Nothing further.
All right. This Garako, any objection to $1,000 surety bond and stay away? This would be
Judge-
the Centennial Olympic Park, right?
We are requesting a $3,000 surety, and the reason for that is because she is with this offense in violation of her 2 probationary sentences, 26 CR 00023B, criminal trespass, convicted February 3rd of this year, and 26 CR 000734B, another criminal trespass, convicted March 3rd of this year. The locations there, the criminal trespass is for 369 Centennial Olympic Park, that address, same as here. And on the other one, the Generation Apartments, they're the same location, Judge. So we are requesting a $3,000 surety. She's been told to stay away from that very specifically and recently, and she has not done so. The state's recommending $3,000 surety social worker visit for BH and housing. Stay away from Generation Apartments at 369 Centennial Olympic Park Drive in Atlanta.
$1,000 surety bond, stay away from the location, which is the Generation Apartment Complex. Next court date's May 27th. She needs a social worker for housing and BH issues, or MH, I'm not sure.
Can we reschedule this to 11 a.m.?
Sure. May 28th at 11 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 22, McCray, what are we doing?
This is also a waiver. He has a probation violation case, so no matter what he gets, he will still be here. So he waived his appearance.
All right, her case number is 26 CR 3092J, accused of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. The bond is 500, surety, no violent contact with law enforcement. Further notice to May 28th. And have I addressed everything else?
Which one was the position you just gave the bond on, Judge?
That was McCray, position 22, 500 surety, no violent contact with law enforcement. Further notice to May 28th. Okay, I think that, Deputy, does that complete the calendar?
Got one, number 33, Mr. Williams.
33. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. And Mr. Zachary Williams is accused of theft by shoplifting from May 11th, case 26 CR 3041H. Ms. Kim, is that a reset or a waiver?
Actually waiver, reset to 11 a.m., Your Honor. There is already bond for $1,000 surety bond.
And we were going to request that remain set with the social worker visit for MHBH and continue with prescribed medication. Stay away from the Publix.
No objection, Your Honor.
$1,000 surety bond for Zachary Lewis and stay away from the incident location, which is the public store, and to comply with all ongoing treatment. All right. Let me go ahead. And I don't think I wrote all the numbers down, Ms. Champion, so I'm going to count on you to chime in every time I make a mistake, which is probably going to be quite a lot. So position the add-on, well, I can get to that. The main C calendar, position 1, Allen, is a 4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, and that was a consent bond. Position 2, Ammons, is a 5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Position 3, Baker, that's going to be a 8,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Position 4 is a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Position 5, Buckley, is a 6,000 split bond, reset May 28. 6, Clifton, is a consent bond for 1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position 7, Copeland's a $1,000 surety bond, reset to May 28. Position 8, Daniel, is a 8,000 surety bond, reset May 28. Position 9, Downing, his first case is a $1,000 surety. His second case is a $10,000 surety bond. Mr. Murphy will be his counsel. Further notice to position May 28. Position 11, Frazier is, a $2,000 surety bond, May 28th, and his second case is a 10,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3 for a 12-month duration. Also further notice to May 28th. Position 13, Glanton, is a, that's the one I didn't write down. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a $5,000 good bond, Your Honor.
Okay. $5,000 surety bond, reset to May 28th. And then for position 14, was Glanton a $5,000 surety bond? Is that correct, Miss?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just want to be sure. Position 14 was a $5,000 surety bond with a 10% option. Oh yes, both of them got the same bond. Now I recollect. Both Glanton and Grubbs. It was a 5,000 surety with a 10% option. If they exercise the options, the signature bond through pretrial level 2. 15, Holmes is a $1,000 surety bond, May 28. 16, James is a 5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3, 12-month duration with mandatory screens. His second case is was it a 5,000 surety bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's further notice to May 28. 18, Kimmy Johnson's a $27,000 split bond, further notice to May 28th. Position 19, Cassie Lewis is a $1,000 surety bond,
I believe so, Your Honor.
May 28th. Position 20, Lockhart is a 2,500 signature bond through level 2. Position 21, Mahaffey is a 4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 22, McCrae is a 500 surety bond, reset to May 28th. 23, Morabi is a $4,000 surety bond, reset to May 28th. Then 24, Potts is a $1,000 surety bond, reset to May 28th and that was 1,000 surety on count 1. Count 2 was the UJR. Position 25, Riles, is a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. 26, Roundtree is a consent, 23,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 27, Rowe is a $25 cash bond, reset to May 28. 28, Sheets is a 3,000 surety bond, reset to May 28. 29, Kevin Smith is a 2,500 surety bond, reset to May 28. Was that at 11 a.m.? No.
I think so, Your Honor.
Oh, no, this was the one where he asked for that bond. Okay. Position 30, Solis Lopez, and that's a 3,000 signature bond to pretrial level 1, and that was a consent bond, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then 31, Tauri is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2, 12-month duration with FPIP. Position 32, Wallace is on position 32 with Javante Wallace was a can't remember, folks. One of it was a cash bond, one of it was surety.
I thought they were both cash bonds, Judge. I think
Oh, they are both cash? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
believe
you're
the
right. Here it is.
first, yeah.
Okay, so on 32 is a $1,000 cash bond. On the add-on, position number 1 is a $2,500 cash bond with 12-month ankle monitoring. Further notice to May 28. And then 33, Zachary Williams, that was a waiver. That's a $1,000 surety bond. Is that the one reset to 11 a.m.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, just want to be sure. Thank you. And then 34, Canavis Wright, and that was a $1,000 surety bond reset to May 28th. No one chimed in, so I must have passed.
I have a question. Was it only one case that was reset to 11 a.m. or was it two?
Miss
Two.
Kim, two.
Two.
Which one?
Okay, I just wanted to confirm. Thank you.
All right. All right, folks, thank you so much. We have a Tariq Holmes on Zoom. Mr. Holmes, how may we address you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Tarika's dad. Tarika Holmes' dad.
Could you start your video, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yes, sir. He received you need to start your video.
Give me a moment.
All right. Oh, gosh. All right. Do you have a light on in your room or can you draw a curtain or something? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Mr. Tariq, you are the father to Tarika Brianna Holmes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Miss Kim, was this the other one reset to 11 a.m.?
No, this is the
No,
11.
this is a co-defendant, yeah.
Yes,
So
Your
she
Honor.
received a $1,000 surety bond. You can either post that bond or you can go through a bonding company. And the condition is to have no further violent contact with law enforcement. Currently, her next court date is May 28th if she is still at the jail.
Yes, ma'am. Is that's the lowest the bond you can make?
That is the lowest bond she presently gets.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I can just go to a bonding agent and just have them bond her out?
Correct. There is a fee they will charge you, and then make sure she gets a copy of a bond order.
And it will be the total amount, or will it be 10% of that?
Oh, I don't know what bonding companies charge. They charge between 10 to 15% the last time I checked.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that concludes our calendar. We'll see some of you lucky folks tomorrow. Take care.